Hello, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. I'm just gonna realign the camera with the screen, which is why I have this screen up, then I'm gonna just switch to this. So, so far we've determined that there was a poker game and Phoenix right, no, I'm not gonna present. Right, I can't check that here. Alright, that's Phoenix's favorite drink. His phone used by the defendant to call the police from the restaurant's first floor. This was the second basement the crime happened in. The defendant is Phoenix Wright. Yeah, he doesn't want to talk, so we've called in a waitress who was taking a picture of them as they were sitting at the table. Very much not playing cards. That's she said she saw them playing cards, but she did not take a picture of the cards, or of them playing the cards. She took a photo like this. But I'm not so sure she got the seating right here. Somehow they say that this is Phoenix's spot, and this is Shady Smith's spot that he sat at. This is his cards. And Phoenix obviously never loses. Except this time they think he did. But, as you can see from the chips and the cards, but notice which side Phoenix's favorite drink is on. Phoenix sat here, not here. Which means they don't have motive. I mean, why would Phoenix's drink be laying down on the opposite side of the table from him? But I don't remember if we cross-examined her on this statement, but I'm gonna do it again just because otherwise I won't remember anything. Oh wait, I said I should cross-examine her. I think the judge is gonna do some bad math here. Are those usual starting points? Were any special results used? No, not no, not special. Usual game, usual rules. Each man began with 3,500 points. Then the total would be exactly 7,000 points. Please, this isn't calculus. It's not even long division. Yes, I did press on these. The one who was winning! It was victim! You're telling me that Mr. Right, undefeated for 7 whole years, was losing? Da! It must have been most unlucky day for him. I am glad I did not take other picture of him. It would break camera, certainly. The chips, they went always to victim side of table. So you're telling us it was a one-sided game? Da! One-sided, and... For last hand, defend and play with all chips on table, and lose. I'm just gonna check... Not that one, this one. Wait, this must be it, right? Played with all chips. All of his chips. But you can clearly see that there are still chips on what they claim is his side of the table. There is no way that she's telling the truth right here. I'm just gonna... Oh. And what happened next? Even to think of it now, I shake and tremble. Da! I did not believe such thing would happen. What such thing? Please, you must believe. I had no idea. How could such thing occur? What such thing? Niet. The defendant had been hitting victim. I saw it all happen, right before me. I saw bottle coming down on victim's head. Decisive, isn't it, Your Honor? My witness saw the very moment of the crime. Okay, it's definitely that. And let's do it like this. Objection! Your Honor. Oh. That wasn't it? What do you think of the witness statement? I'm not sure I follow you. It clearly contradicts the, I thought. I actually did think. Please don't tell me I have to redo anything. I don't think that won me any points with the judge. No, but then what? That was the only thing I could think about. Or think of. Last hand? It was largest points of any hand. The defendant's hand, it was excellent. He tried to use it to take victory from behind. It appears that both the defendant and the victim's hands are in this picture. That is truly an excellent hand, however, so is the victim's. One with highest number wins, so defendant loses. The victim, Mr. Smith, had a stronger hand than the defendant and crushed him. I believe that explains what occurred next. Once card laid down on table, it happened. But wait, but what? Hmm. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. Well, the bottle is actually on his side of the table. And that is definitely his side of the table, huh? Sorry. I mean, that is the only thing I can think about. Am I missing something? I mean, I only have 7 pieces of evidence. I'm not looking up a walkthrough for, like, the first trial in the game. Do I just assume that I needed to press her first? Because I'm pretty sure I have pressed on... Oh. Yeah, this is... This is just... Now I can check profiles. Oh, sorry. Again. That's Phoenix, right? I'm just gonna... The bottle is completely empty, huh? deadly bottle. Your first goal is to gather information. I have gathered all the information I can. I have pressed on all of them. I might not have pressed on that. I don't think I actually pressed on that. Duh! Of course! Something's fishy about these chips. Should I press harder? Yes, press harder. Maybe you could just explain a bit about these chips. Explain? What is there to be explained? Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips, not a chip of the old book. Thanks. Now that I've pressed her, I'd better ask something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars or rubles even? Yeah, as I have been saying before, it was game, not gambling. Hard perhaps for capitalists to understand. 2 types of chips, 100 points and 1000 points chip. It is not money, duh. I just got information. Don't you find her comments interesting? In more ways than one, sir. I'd have added it to her testimony myself. Well, does the defense want the witness to add to her testimony? Yes. Yes, I do think this deserves further scrutiny. Add it to the testimony. I wish I knew where I was going with this. Me too. Very well, witness, if you would be so kind. Duh, Your Honor. One kind of chip is worth 100 points, the other kind is worth 1000 points. 2 kinds in all. I will press further. Mr. Gavin said this testimony is important. To be honest, I have no idea why. Oh wait, hold on. Do I know why? No, I don't know why. Mr. Justice, do the court a favor and think of what you want to say before raising your hand. We are not in kindergarten. Sorry, I'm fine. I'd better think of something to ask, and quick. The 2 types of chips. The small ones are 100 and the big ones 1000. Right? Right, of course. Ha! Don't waste our time. Is that all? Yeah. Great, Mr. Gavin made me stop her. And now I'm the one who looks dumb. Oh, Justice? Please try not to embarrass me like that. Huh? Who? Me? There's a clear contradiction in the information you have in your hands. There is? What? It's a simple matter of calculation. Go on, try it. We're not in kindergarten after all. Calculation? Wait, but... Oh, she doesn't say it's the big and small versions. But it kind of has to be, right? I mean... Not this one. They're stacked the exact same way. Wait. Hold on here. There were 7,000 points in all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, two, three, four, five, 6. Wait. The big ones are 100. They are actually flipped. So the big ones are 100 and the small ones are 1,000? But that means that Phoenix had 4,100 points. He was winning. This Smith guy here only had... One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He only had 2,900. Objection! Are you sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure? It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at the picture is enough to tell you who won, if you're not in kindergarten. Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court? Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which were worth 1,000 points? Why, the big ones, of course. Duh! Oh, I thought so too. But then the totals don't add up. The totals? Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips, and the combined total value of the chips was 7,000 points. Yes, if my calculations are correct. Let's see, 3 plus 1 carry the 5. They are, Your Honor. Now, look at this photo that allegedly shows all the chips. If the big chips are worth 1,000 points and the small chips are worth 100, and you add them up, how much is it? Do it yourself, you're in kindergarten, aren't you? 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness testimony. But why? How could this be? Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. Right, there's only one possible way to explain this contradiction. Both were right. Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the chips are indeed shown in this photograph, then there can only be one answer. Well, what is it? The value of the chips was the other way around. What? Want to know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points, not the big ones. Madness! Utter madness! Show me the photograph of the chips again. There are 6 small chips and then 10 large. Why, that does make 7,000 points when you add them up. Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself. Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. But wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing! Indeed, the victim did have the larger number of chips still. Exactly. If the small chips are worth 1,000 points and the large chips are worth 100, let's do a little math. Add up the points for each side of the table. The victim, Mr. Smith, had 2,900 points and Phoenix 4,100. Well now, it seems that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all. That's impossible! My client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning! Ah! Now, Miss Orley, you must have known the true value of the chips, since you were there at the scene of the crime, weren't you? Order! Order! It appears our defendant has lost his motive, and Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened. We must now ask ourselves whether the witness... Excuse me? What is it, Miss Orley? I did not want to be saying this, but... Actually, you see, See what, Miss Orley? What do we see? In the last hand, there was cheat. A cheat? You don't mean... a trick? Wait, or do you mean... a scam? They're all the same thing. Yes, there was cheat in last hand. That is why game ends with chips as they are. Great, just great. First we have lying, now cheating. Well, this case certainly has taken a turn. For the interesting. Witness, you will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand. The final hand. The last hand, both men had full house. There is 4 of each card in deck, from ace to king. If you look at both men's hands, cheat move is more obvious. The next moment, game becomes argument. The defendant's trick was exposed. He took bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith. Miss Orley, why did you not tell the court about this from the beginning? I thought I smelled a cover up here. Well, folks, it's time to throw back to the covers. A full house is a very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make, in my experience. Excuse me? That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics. Mr. Gavin? Mr. Gavin? What's a full house? Liars these days, you don't know your poker. I can't say this bodes well for your case or career. What is this? Some kind of secret court poker ring? Justice. You know the terms 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of a kind, yes? Yeah, no problem. Two cards with the same number make a pair, and 3 makes three of a kind. Good. Now picture a hand with 1 pair and 1 3 of a kind. That's a full house. That doesn't sound very easy to make, does it? You can see each player's hand in this photo. Wow, they both have full houses. And I can see no foul play. We forget there is an easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat! The defense may cross-examine the witness. If he did cheat in the last hand, that still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand? Who's ever heard of a professional conman losing when they cheat? Oh, that's kind of common, actually. The last hand, both men had full house. Just how hard is it to make a full house anyway? Anyway. It is quite hard, duh. It is making a pair and a 3 of a kind at the same time. I guess that's right. Very difficult to be sure. You can take my word as the poker head of courtroom number 3. Wait, I thought... Never mind. Very difficult, but it's not impossible. Okay, full house, hard. This line of questioning, a waste of time. There is 4 of each card in deck, from ace to king. Yes, but there are only 4. One, two, three, 4 aces. 1, 2, 3, 7s, I think that is. And 1, 2, 3 kings. We have diamonds, hearts, spades, and clubs. But wait, hold on, what's this? No, I think those are just... Those are the 2 different red kings. But there, I don't see any foul play here. Unless that is but I don't really see that. There you can't see it at all. No, there is nothing weird about this photo. There is 4 of each card in deck from ace to king. 4 of each card, you say? There is 1 spade, 1 diamond, 1 heart, and 1 club for each card. It is interesting fact that this number 4 comes from number of seasons. That is an interesting fact. Huh, you don't say. Exactly. And did you know that the cards are numbered 1 to 13? Yeah, you don't say. Add all the cards in a deck and you get 364 a year! Close enough, but sure. Huh, you don't say. Isn't that 1 day short? That's why each deck has 2 jokers. Oh! They say the second joker stands for the leap year. Thus you have a perfect representation of the year, all in a deck of cards. Huh, you don't say. We're going to be in this courtroom for a year if it keeps going like this. That was actually really interesting. I did not know any of that. Huh. If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. How was it clear? Yeah, well, the defendant, he played a fifth ace. A fifth ace? I still remember both hands very well. That's not what it looked like, though. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. Mr. Smith's hand? And Mr. Wright's too. Obviously, cheating was afoot. Or perhaps I should say, a hand. Your Honor, perhaps this can be added to the testimony without Mr. Payne's joke. Very well. The witness will add this detail to her testimony, please. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces and Mr. Wright's 2. It is 5 aces in all. A fifth ace? Duh! It should not exist, no? I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. And Mr. Wright's 2. Well, where did this card come from then? Perhaps we should ask the defendant that very question. Adding cards to a deck is no less serious a taboo than forging evidence in a court of law. He's never done that. Now, perhaps it's time for you to say something, Justice. You bet. I have no intention of staying quiet. Not me. No, sir. I better find some contradicting evidence fast. I have the contradicting evidence. This is actually a pretty easy one, I hope. The next moment, game becomes argument. Duh! The defendant's trick was exposed. But I want to just press on everything. Do you recall what the men were arguing about? Duh, I believe so. The victim, he shouts, "You are cheater!" And then the defendant shouts something like, "I have objection!" Shouting objection, eh? Old habits are hard to break. First, he bluffed his way through the courtroom. Now he bluffs his way through life. He bluffed nothing. However, Mr. Wright lost the hand. That seems to cast a shadow of doubt on Mr. Smith. Humiliation from losing even when cheating. That is what set fire to defendant's heart. So what did the flaming defendant do next? He took bottle in his hand, poor Mr. Smith. By bottle, are you referring to this? Ah, the defendant using this bottle to... This behavior is an admission of cheating by the defendant. But why use a grape juice bottle? You'd be surprised at what can be used as a weapon. This juice is recommended drink of Birch Bowl Club. Duh! This year's vintage is remarkable for its hefty flavor. Hefty enough to brain a grown man, apparently. First she says it was a serious competition, now she says there was cheating. Justice, notice anything odd? Her testimony keeps changing. Now she says the defendant cheated. Actually, yes, I had noticed that. Let's get the truth about this cheating first, shall we? Right, leave it to me. Just gonna check. 3 kings, right here. Objection! It appears the witness is mistaken. Mistaken? But my name... Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony. That's the photo of the chips, is it not? Justice, perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point out your point. Yes, please point out the contradiction in this photo. What particular point contradicts the witness testimony? I'd say it's right about there. Miss Orley, in your testimony, you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2 aces. Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held a 3rd ace in question. Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. Where's the 5th ace? I see cheating, alright, and it's going on right here in this courtroom. 2 aces in each player's hand just make 4 aces total. Hardly proof of cheating.
Wait, please. It is true, I have seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating, I swear to you.
That's odd. She must be lying, yet she's the most sincere I've seen her all day. You're right to trust your instincts. Mr. Gavin? Who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion. What might that be, Mr. Gavin? If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards. The cards? Mr. Payne.
Yes?
The players' hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court. Very well, the prosecution will submit this as evidence. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards? If these cards don't prove cheating was going on, nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious? Oh dear lord, which of these hands is more suspicious? I mean... Getting 3 aces is more difficult than getting 2 aces. She says his hand has 3 aces. And that is also what I'm trying to establish, if that hand had 3 or 2 aces. So the victim's hand. It was the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards. Very well, Mr. Payne, if you would.
Very well.
Received evidence, victim's hand. Well, time's wasted. Get to it, Justice.
Yes, sir.
When examining evidence, be sure to view it from all sides and angles. Try using the dials on the evidence viewer. That should give you a better perspective of the case. Okay, let's do this. That is 2 aces and 3 kings, alright? Oh! One of the kings is not from this deck. Actually, wait, they played with the blue deck. What? Your Honor, look at this. One of the victim's cards. The back is a different color.
Eh? Eh? That's impossible. But I put that card in right hand. Okay.
What was that, Mr. Worley?
Niet. I merely said, da, I have ik.
Your Honor. Mr. Gavin, yes? Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker? To cheat? I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend, a comrade, shall we say. The dealer. Wait, so you mean this witness, Miss Orley? She's the cheater, a professional, I'd wager.
Yeah.
Order! Order! Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. Of her mistake. Your Honor, please recall the testimony we just heard.
That's impossible. But I put that card in right hand.
Ergo, Miss Olga Orley conspired to cheat. Not with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shady Smith. Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim.
What?
Wait, you don't mean... The defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Olga Orley, are you? Time for justice. There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident. And if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means... I am! Maybe you should complete... The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orley, of murder. Okay, sure. Mr. Payne, where is your witness, Miss Olga Orley?
It appears she has lost consciousness, Your Honor.
Mr. Justice? Your Honor, it seems you've presented a new possibility to the court. One suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith. And that means... This court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time.
What?
I did it. I held out. I see no point in prolonging the trial this day. The prosecution will need to make further inquiries. Mr. Wright? You can't end the trial here, Your Honor.
Not yet. What nonsense is the defendant spewing now?
Think. One of the cards had a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means?
What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous!
Mr. Payne, you of all people should know Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous. That is true, that is true. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about the game that fateful night. As was said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night.
That was said before!
Yeah. The two decks at the club have different colored backs, blue and red. One color per deck. Why use different colored backs? If we use the same color, the two decks might get mixed. You used different colors and they still got mixed up? We used the red deck for the last game. I see. But that's odd. For some reason, I have this impression that you were using the blue cards. Yeah, me too. And yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards.
Whatever. In the end, one card of the wrong color got into the mix. Which means there was cheating.
Yes, a card slipped into the deck would seem to indicate cheating. Yet this card raises two serious questions. Apollo? Yes? Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think. In the last game, when was the card swapped? When? There are three broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder.
Well, yeah, thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was swapped.
Oh? It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne. Or it might not be. I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped? When was the card swapped into the deck? She said she was going to give that card to Mr. Wright. But she thought it was an ace. Why would Wright swap it out? Why would she swap it out? Wow, thanks for the insight. Blue backs. The deck that was... Oh wait, no. That is the deck they weren't playing with, I guess? That is the card which is on top. Oh wait, no, it was that. No, it was that. That is the diamond one. Yes, the Diamond King. So the one that is on top there was the one that got switched out. I mean, I technically do have enough during the murder seems like such a short time. I mean, no, wait. Defendant's victim's chips when crime took place. So, just because it seems the least likely, I'm gonna go with during the murder. And if that doesn't, and if that isn't correct, I'm gonna go with before. Well, weren't they swapped during the murder? During the murder? Tell me, exactly when is that? Huh? Well, the very moment of the act, I guess. Would that be the moment the cards were shown? What? Or perhaps the moment when the cheater was revealed? Or maybe the very moment the bottle came down on Smith's head. Could I have a moment? That moment could cost you this case. Sorry, let me rethink this. When was the card swapped into the deck? Okay, so it wasn't during. Before the murder. Well, it must have happened before the murder. You mean during the game? I wonder. Huh, why? Think. When you're playing poker, which side of the cards faces your opponent? Well, yeah, of course, you would have seen that. The back. Sorry, let me think about this some more. Okay, so I was just completely wrong. All of it. Sure, after the murder, which seemed the most obvious, but perhaps it happened after the murder.
What's that? Ridiculous! What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly!
Yes, but tell me, how did you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible.
Take it from me, son. There is a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible.
Oh? Even when the backs of the cards are a different color? If you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time. Quite true. I came up with that all by myself. That would mean the blue card in question, was swapped after the hands were shown, after the murder.
Okay, this is going past silly and straight on to crazy. I ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that?
Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us. There's another? Yes. A simple yet decisive question that must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? What? Who? The game and murder is done. The victim is dead. Only two remaining in the room. Alive, that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga Orley. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for a blue? I could seriously just answer someone else? Like someone from the police did it? Now I'm gonna guess that it was Olga. And that she was momentarily confused, because I'm pretty sure Phoenix wouldn't make that mistake. He's been in too many of these things. I don't think I can... I think I just have to logic who it was. And... I'm going to say... Olga. Well, it must have been Olga Orly who swapped the cards. She was trying to cover up evidence of cheating. That does make some sense. Sorry. But there's a problem with that explanation. Huh? The swapped card was from the wrong deck. Yes, a blue card was stuck into a red hand. Mixing a card from the wrong deck when the backs are different colors? Remember that you're talking about Olga Orly. She was the dealer. Do you really think she would make such a novice mistake? Actually, I have trouble imagining even the judge making that mistake. No, I... Give it a little more thought, Apollo. Right. Is that a hint? Okay, so who was it that swapped the red cards for a blue card? I mean... The obvious answer now is Phoenix Wright. But... I don't think... Why would he? Why would Phoenix swap the card like that? That doesn't seem like a thing he would want to do. Does it? Why would he swap that card? If not to throw suspicion on him. But that's like... Oh no. Like... Phoenix wasn't forging evidence, was he? I mean, he doesn't want to tell us beforehand. He wants us to find the evidence, but... Like, still? I think he would have told us if he... Well... I'm gonna say it was someone else. The one who swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And, well... It doesn't seem like it could have been Olga either. What are you suggesting? That's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As the defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orly at this point. Yes, I know. But she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color card. And if the card was swapped during the game, that'd be obvious. Something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Wright? Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking how much fun all this is.
Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the card wasn't the defendant, and it wasn't Miss Orly, then who was it?
Yeah, well, that's the question, isn't it? Precisely. Huh? I second that. Huh? I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction. A new direction? We'll find that, indeed, after the murder, someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand. And that someone made two critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us that the first was swapping the wrong color card. Because the one who did the swap didn't know two colors of cards were being used. The other mistake was the number on the card. It was a king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace after all. And they knew all they knew was that the game had been won with a full house. So they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in.
But there's one problem. According to our case records, this person doesn't exist.
True, not until now. But you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. Though it's more than a possibility. There was someone else there that night. At the scene of the crime.
What?
I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright. This trial has proceeded on one central assumption, namely, that at the time of the incident, there were only 3 people in that room. I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption. The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court. I suppose that is a problem, yes. Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess. Certainly, Your Honor. Very well, the trial will resume in 20 minutes. April 20th, 11:52 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. To suddenly claim there was another person at the scene of the crime like that. I must ask, is it the truth? Well, now, I think you would know the answer to that. Being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I have no time for mysteries. I'd only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see you haven't mellowed out one bit, Christoph. Justice. Yes, sir? The judge has summoned me to his chambers, so carry on without me. You did well, Apollo. Can I ask you something? Sure. That locket you wear. Is that really yours, Mr. Wright? You're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket. Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my daughter in there. I'm just surprised to hear you have a daughter. Most people are. Perhaps you'll meet her one of these days. One more question. The one who cheated that night, was it you? What do you think? Huh? You know what happened 7 years ago. What I did. It's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat. I never, honest. But it is odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years. Want to know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker. Eh? Oh, he has a poker face. Of all the times he was, like, going out on a limb and in court. Of course. You see, poker is all about reading your opponent. In that way, it's a lot like a court case. Poker is like a trial law. Figure out what your opponent is thinking, and you win. Well, yeah, but that's harder than it sounds. I think not. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information. You're kidding! That witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? No? Come on, who'd notice that? Words, habits, twitches. It's all information for the reading. That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret on to you. Wait, was he serious? Did Miss Orley actually touch the back of her head at certain parts of her testimony? But I'm not worried. I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals. No, you can do it. Huh? You just don't know it yet. What's he talking about? But you will. Soon. I almost forgot. One more thing. About this case. You should know, I haven't told the truth to anyone yet. That doesn't make my job easier! What? I knew it. I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there, defending me. I need your power. My, power? I had no idea my cords of steel were that special. It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best. To be continued. Yes. No, I think I'll actually end it here. Yes. Yes, I will. So, if you have enjoyed watching me play this and hearing my beautiful, beautiful voice acting, then please do hit that little heart-shaped follow button. And if you want to see more of me, maybe catch the first part of this, then head over to the YouTube channel where I keep my previous streams. And if you're already watching this on YouTube, it's the YouTube channel by the same name as this Twitch channel. And it's also linked on the Twitch main page. And if you're already watching this on YouTube, then that like button and subscribe button would also be really appreciated. And if you want to catch me live, then head down into the description down below, where there's a link to my Twitch page. You never know, I might be live like as you're watching this. I mean, you at least know that I'm live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 PM European Central Time. But I can just be live like whenever, right? I don't have to keep to that schedule. Well, I do keep to that schedule, but I don't have to only stream on that schedule. So I do streams that doesn't end up on YouTube in between. But yes, that is all. So bye. Bye bye. Bye bye bye. Bye bye. Bye.